Hey everybody, Noah coming at you here on Saturday. Just got done with a men's leadership session. It's really hard to say. I've realized this is like take 5 of that. Leadership session. Let's try and say that 5 times fast. But anyways, I just wanted to share one little piece of content that I got from this. The whole day was absolutely incredible. We did it over Zoom, so it was video. I got to sit on my couch here, be able to take a ton of notes. I flew through, I think, maybe 4 or 5 pages of notes here, but I highlighted this one piece and I wanted to share it out to everybody just because it stood out a ton. I put little parentheses around it here and I wanted to share it out to everybody. The quote was, "The standards you hold yourself to should be higher than the expectations you have for others." I'll say it again, but really try and let it set in and be able to see how this can relate to you, your past, your current situation, how you hold yourself moving forward. The standards that you hold for yourself should be higher than the expectations that you have for others. And I think about this of what your standards actually are, and I know that there's a lot of fun examples that we could use. I know that one of them that I was thinking about was, your driving abilities and the standards that you have for yourself should be higher than the expectations of others because so many people get irritated by people in traffic. But how many times have you done something where you're just like, "Ooh, shoot, sorry," and you're maybe going around a roundabout or whatever. We've all screwed up at some point, and we've all maybe been that person that somebody's been angry at in traffic. So it's having a little bit of grace and knowing that the expectations of others, that might have been the one time that they screwed up and you can't hold it over them, right? Sometimes that ruins people's day. Sometimes people talk about that for weeks. And thinking about this in every aspect of life, of what are the standards that you hold yourself to? How can you raise them to the point where they are so high and you are being able to hold yourself up to such a I guess holding yourself up on a very, very high pedestal, not maybe letting yourself get up there so that maybe the falls are so low, but being able to hold yourself to such a high standard that when you're going out into the world, you are adding value to so many people in such huge ways that you're able to be a light in other people's life, especially in today's world. I think that a lot of people just have to reevaluate their own standards and the expectations of others. So, a couple ways that I've been able to do that for myself during this crazy coronavirus time, but also in the past to be able to raise my standards is just personal development. You can see my bookshelf right behind me. I've read every single one of those books over the past about 10 years now, but I wanted to just pick out 2 of them really, really quickly. 2 of my favorites that I just snagged off the bookshelf. I actually have them like right on the side. There's this book called Think and Grow Rich. I've lent this out to a ton of people. You can kind of see it's like beaten and tattered, and there's a lot of different things in here. All of these different pens and circles and underlines and brackets and things are from multiple different people. And my favorite thing about this book that I have right here is maybe the content of it. I read it for the first time 10 years ago, and now reading it again, all the stuff that I know that I highlighted in there were things that I now read, and that's just the way that I think now. The power of expectation, the power of the spoken word, all those different things at the time were a revelation, but now it's just common knowledge for me, right? But seeing what other people get out of these is so great. I love being able to lend this out. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The other one is the book called The Alchemist. And I read this probably 4 or 5 times. The first time I read it, it was the fastest book I've ever read. It's not a tiny book, but it was the fastest book I ever read. It took me about 3 days. I could not put this book down. It's a storybook, but it's a self-development. It should, I guess, whenever you read it, depending on what you're going through in life at that point, somehow, some way, this book relates to the exact scenario. Whether it be a love story, whether it be a success journey, whether it be just trying to find yourself, whether it be just trying to be honest with yourself. It is such a fantastic book, and I recommend it for anybody. This is my most recommended book that I've ever recommended to anybody. So if you have not read this book, read it. If you maybe don't like reading books, listen to it as well. But being able to have the hard copy of it is so much better, and it's going to add value to your life. And I hope that once you read it, you can then lend it out to other people as well, because somehow it will find people when they need it the most. And if you've already read it, see how you can pick it up again, because you'll read it and it'll be a different book for you.